Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make this pyramid style card. These are really fun cards to make, and I think they're really effective card to display when you give someone. They can put it on their shelf or their table, and it's just lovely to be able to display it. You can make these in any size. I've got this larger one here, and I'll show you this one. This is a tiny one that I was given a few years ago. So they're really cute. You can make them to any size that you want. So we'll get started. What you'll need is to get 3 pieces of cardstock, 3 squares. Now you can make them to any size. This one I've made 10.5 centimeters squared, or which is about 4 inches. And then what you're going to do is score diagonally on each piece. I've already done this one already. I'll just go and show you how to score the next one. I have to apologise, I'm using the old style trimmer. I went to get my other standing up trimmer and it's been locked away. So we'll work with this today. So what you'll need to do to score it is to place these points in that little trimmer gap that runs down there. Place each corner there. Using your scorer, you'll just run that down from corner to corner. So you'll do that on each of your pieces. So I did one earlier, then I'm going to do this one. Once again, lining it up in that gap and scoring it down. So you'll end up with 3 squares of card. What you'll also need is 3 squares of designer series paper. You can use, well, you'll need three triangles, so you can use 2 squares and cut them in half and flip them. So I've already cut this square in half diagonally. So then what you're going to do is cut. Now I'll tell you the size of this. You want to have it just slightly smaller than your card square you've got. So for this, it'll be about 4 millimeters smaller, or 1/8 of an inch. So we're going to, this time we're going to cut from one corner to the corner. So you'll need 3 triangles. I just wanted to show you that to get the trimmer out of the way. So we've got our 3 squares. What you'll then do is fold each square. You can run your bone folder along there to burnish the fold. Fold each one. Now, taking your square, your triangles, get my shapes right, you've got these 2, and I've got this one I cut earlier. Now, you can take one of those triangles and flip it, because I'll just bring our pyramid card back in. I've used a different design on each panel. That's up to you. You might want to go with each of the same. I think it just looks a bit fun to have a different one. So with these, you can just flip one triangle and use the other side. But I would like to go with a different design with that one. So I'm using the back of another piece of the paper. So this one is the All Is Bright designer series paper offhand, if I can remember. This one is Under the Mistletoe. So I wanted to get different patterns for it. So it's a good idea to adhere these triangles onto your card before you assemble. So we're just going to use a bit of the multi-purpose glue onto that. You want to adhere each one. Oh, I'm making a sticky mess, aren't I? It's so hot here today that this adhesive is just running out so quickly, and being under the lights is not very helpful. So just stick that onto that panel. I've just folded the card up just for it to be easier. And then we're going to go with this one. Alright, so you've got your 3 squares already. Now what you're going to do is simply assemble them. So you have, what you want to do is you're going to stick one behind the other. So if you can see what I've done there. Now the trick is that you need to be careful where you're going to place your adhesive, because you don't want to stick all over the panel because not all of that half is showing. So I just sort of give it a gauge. I'll put my finger there to mark it, and so I'm just going to place some adhesive in this section here, and where you haven't got your paper on, that's the panel that you'll stick behind it. So we've got this one. You're going to do the same with the next panel then. I like to put it into position before I glue so I can just see where I've got to put that glue. So I'm going to go from here up. So you're just going to slide that into place there. So then you can see it's starting to form now. So you're ending up with each of those squares adhered together. Alright, so now we're going to just assemble it. Now you can, what I've done with the other one is fasten them together so they're secure. Or if I bring this tiny one in, you can see that this is put together with a Velcro dot, and then that will be able to post flat, fold flat so you can post it. I've also got one that has some ribbon attached to it, so there's just some ribbon put behind, a little piece of ribbon behind here and on here. When you assemble it together, you can tie it on the corner. I had one but I couldn't find it to show you, but hopefully you'll get that idea. But on this one, I'm just going to stick this together because I'm just going to give it to somebody. I don't need to post it. So just once again, carefully where you put your adhesive. Stick it down there. You'll just want to hold it into place. So you're going to end up with your pyramid shape. Isn't that really cool? So you can then, once you've got the basic idea, you can create these to any style that you want and any size. So like I said before, this one I was using the 10.5 centimeter squares or 4 inches. This one was much tinier. This was this was 7 centimeters, about 7.5 centimeters, which is about 3 inches tall. So depending on what size square you use, it's really cute. So you can then decorate it how you like. So the sentiment here is from the Flourish Filigree stamp set, and I've punched that out with the pretty label punch. I went for the soft seafoam colour. It was just a little subtle contrast. Instead of using the white, I've used the pretty pine thinlits to make some greenery. That's in the Shaded Spruce and the Old Olive. And you might be able to see, it's always hard to see, but I've got a vellum scallop circle behind it. That just gives it an extra softness to it. And I finished it off with a star from the Snowflakes and Stars wire elements that's in the holiday catalogue at the moment. So have fun with these. I think they're really great to do, and it looks a little bit more impressive to give to someone, and especially at Christmas time it's a nice display. So I hope those instructions were easy to follow. I will put the details on my blog as well, so you'll be able to follow along as well with the step-by-step photos. So thank you for stopping by today.